Welcome, children, young and old. Today a story will be told
about porridge, greed, grandmas, and crime. All those things that enliven bedtime.
We will meet two girls who I'm sure you've met before, but I fear that there's a surprise in store.
For the other stories you've all heard about, the popular versions leave a few things out.
For in these stories, the authors prevent us finding out details of the real event.
But first, let us introduce three gentle creatures with paws, big noses, and plush furry features.
These folk would be heroes if the stories were fair. We are talking of Mom, Dad, and Little Bear.
A happy family, wholesome and stable. They came in for supper. That's at the same time.
I know you're both hungry, so I've made a treat. 3 big scrumptious bowls of porridge to eat.
Wow, Mom, I love porridge. You're the best. I'll take a big mouthful and give it a test.
Little Bear dug in with a very large scoop, and as soon as he ate it, he ran in a loop. He tried to yell something, no one knew what. He tried hard to say that the porridge was hot.
My dear, I don't say you are a culinary fool, but before we eat this, it needs time to cool. I know what to do. While we wait for the goods, why don't we take a nice stroll in the woods?
I think that's a very good idea. And Little Bear needs the cold night air, I fear. Although he stopped running and ranting, I can see that the poor little fellow's still panting.
Then it's settled. We're off for a family trot, and when we return, our food won't be so hot.
As the family left, they weren't to know that house had fallen victim to a villain so low. It is the house she was going to steal and use their furniture and steal the meal.
Yes, we speak of Goldilocks, and here's the scandal. She's not a sweet girl, she's a terrible vandal. She looks pretty and trustworthy, but to tell the truth, she's a vicious delinquent and very uncouth. Goldilockpick, they called her, and with her crook snout, she crowbarred the window on the bear's house. She wasn't too bright, she'd not locked the door. She crawled over the sill and fell to the floor.
Oh, I've hurt my hand!
Keep going.
Do you have a cast or something?
No.
I'm supposed to work in these conditions. Does anybody here have a cat? You. Give me that. Get off, please.
Take no money.
Hurry up. Oh my God.
Can you hurry up, please? Are you serious right now? Is this happening? Oh. And any day.
Aha! What is this delectable smell? They've made me some supper, but I'll never tell. I'll try this one first, this big steaming pot. Oh my! Oh no, that's really hot. Oh, good thing that jug of cold water is close by. If I weren't so tough, I'd probably cry. How about this one? It's not steaming. Maybe it's the feast in which I've been dreaming. Oh, yuck. Ugh, that's gross. That's far too cold. Perhaps I was just a little too bored. I know spinning food's not a way to save faces, but a girl like me doesn't have airs or graces. Only one left. Might as well have a bite. As a matter of fact, this one seems just right. That made me tired. I might take a seat. Have a quick rest. Put up my feet. This one's too soft. No good for my back. That one looks hard. Ouch! Oh, I saw an attack. Oh, this one's good. I could rest here a heap. Oh, but what I really need is sleep. Oh.
So feeling full, this vile pest
All right.
went upstairs to take a rest. To Little Bear's bed the criminal adjourned, a nasty surprise for the bears when they returned. Meanwhile, in another part of the wood, another young girl was up to no good.
She hid in the trees, and when troubles walked past, she'd grab them and gag them and steal their stuff fast. When I say it, believe it. You've not misunderstood. I speak of none other than Red Riding Hood. Through the woods the Red Riding Hoodlum ran to hide pilfered goods of the criminal Gran. But alas, the Queen had caught on to this game and called an agent of renown and fame. At the royal palace of Fairyland, the Queen of Hearts schemed and planned.
Well, little Red Riding Hood, I'll put a stop to you doing no good.
Then in came a sleek, professional spy called from the FBI, and that's the Fairyland Bureau of Investigations, where a double wolf is quite a sensation.
Double Wolf, I'm glad you're here.
What can I do for you, Queenie, my dear?
No, none of your sauciness, don't get smart.
But Queenie, my love, you're the queen of my heart.
Don't try your ludicrous charm on me. I'm not some silly floozy, you see. Oh, but speaking of floozies, I have a job for you, and I know that it's something you'll love to do.
You have my interest in the position. Now tell me, my queen, what is the mission?
There is a girl living in the magical wood whose name is Little Red Riding Hood. She's very pretty, I know you agree, but she's causing a spot of bother, you see. She's been robbing travelers as they go on their way, and we must end this mischief today.
Sounds like she's a lot of trouble. So, tell me what to do on the double.
She takes a loop to her grandmother's house, but be careful. Her grandma's a tough old mouse. But you can beat them both, this I know, knowing the sketching missions. Yeah.
What? Wait for the warning.
My, what a glorious day. And my little Red is on the way.
Drop it, G-Hun!
Sure to bring me some wonderful loot, food, wine, and gold. She's the best young thief I've seen in years. If anyone's as differently helpful, there he is. She and I rule this magical wood, descended from the great thief Robin Hood. He was a wise and noble man, but Red and I have a different plan. Stole from the rest to get to the poor, but we just steal so we can have more. The best new thing is my little Red. Whatever pops into her pretty head. The finest new clothes all she'll wear. She has pretty ribbons for her hair. She's a beautiful girl, and I think it's well that she looks after her old Gran so well. Now before she arrives, my little Red, I think I'll pop myself into bed. You're tired and ill. I'm sure you'll agree. You're sure to get more sympathy.
Whoa! As Gran Hood lay waiting in her bed, the wolf called out, pretending to be Red.
Oh, Granny, dear Granny, yoo-hoo. Oh, little Red, dear, it's you. The doors are locked. Come in here. I've been waiting for you all day, my dear.
Freeze, Grandma. You want trouble? Well, you're in the packet. I'm 00 Wolf sent to break up this racket.
You do good call. It's too soon to gloat. By the end of the day, I'll have a fur coat.
Now come along quietly. Make like Mother Hubbard. Put your hands in the air and step into the cupboard.
Just you wait, you hairy beast. You won't scare my Red in the least. She shouldn't take you out with ease. You think you're so suave? Oh, please. My Red will eat you up for dinner. We'll soon see who comes out the winner.
Well, now, old lady, I have an order. So I'll just look like you. Swing your granddaughter.
So, Gran, I brought the spoils of my pilfering iniquitous toils. Delicious food, the finest, purest, stolen from a hapless tourist. Come, Granny dearest, what do you crave? I've got a huge appetite. What should I save?
Please step closer, Red Riding Hood, dear. My ears have gone funny. It's quite hard to hear.
My Grandma, what big nose you've got!
The better to smell your cooking when it's piping hot.
Explain to me, Grandma, why you've got such big eyes!
In case the police come, the minus guys.
But, handcuffs, Grandma, I don't understand.
All the better to cuff your head.
Have I pooped on my grandmother's bed?
I've heard all about you, Little Red. I know the mischief that you've been making. Think these woods are yours for the taking? I must say that I'm impressed. You're a pretty girl and at stealing the best. But I've been sent by the Queen to catch you, so I guess your days are through.
Well, I guess you think you're very tough, a big swab wolf so very rough, but I'm afraid you met your match. You see, I'm quicker than you. You can't catch me.
You're my kind of girl. What fun is that? It's such a pity that I'll have to take you in.
The wolf moved quickly, known to be violent, and cried out in triumph.
You've the right to remain silent.
And into the house, not a moment too soon, came Red's Granny's henchman, an axe-wielding goon.
A huntsman who pokes his worked outside of the law. Ho-ho! Quick blow from his axe. And the wolf was no more. Eventually. The wolf was no more. He was no more. Hold on. Theatrics. And the wolf was no more. Are you quite finished? Now. Okay, he's dead, yeah. Now, I know this plot twist is distastefully gory, but notice this difference from the popular story. We know the villain, or the wolf, as a villain with big teeth and claws, but in truth he was an agent who died for his cause.
So, all along you knew the score, that's why you had me wait at the door.
You're very observant. I'm glad you've caught up, but thank you for dicing this nosy police pup. Now listen to me, and I don't want to shout.
Go to the cupboard and let Gran out. Other cupboard. Other.
Well, looks like the wolf's case is open and shut. I knew we'd finish that troublesome mutt.
Gran had something for which I'm not paid. I brought you your favourite, Scotch marmalade.
If that wolf was really smart, if he was up on the beat, he'd have known you don't have to ask your Gran what she'd like to eat.
Well then, Gran, enjoy your supper. I must bid you adieu. I've got many more trinkets to swipe before this day is through.
Sir Red Riding Hoodlum had beaten the wolf to plunder another day. At this point in the story, it seemed she would get away. Let us not forget the wild tale's other component. The bears were coming home to face the young opponent. The bears had been out far too long, and their plans to get the porridge by now had all gone wrong. The bears unexpectedly had been walking for 3 hours, and obviously in that time, porridge left out sours.
Wow, that walk has made me hungry. I feel like I have just fasted.
But I fear we've been out too long. That porridge won't have lasted.
Your mother's right. We took a while. 3 hours, in fact, so surely. If we ate that porridge now, we would certainly feel poorly.
Just sit down on your chairs. I'll make some more.
But as she went to the kitchen, there were footsteps on the stairs. Goldilockpick had awakened as a result of the bears coming home. Gung-ho, she burst into the room.
Freeze! Catch my basket, you great big lump of fur! You've heard of Goldilockpick? Guess what, folks? I'm her! You two do as I say, keep your hands up in the air. And you open up my basket and put some porridge in there. If that girl eats this porridge, she's sure to feel unwell. But maybe that's a little something I shouldn't tell. You really must excuse me, my manners are appalling. I can't stay here to share your meal, so hurry up, stop stalling!
Not wanting to wait a minute more, Gold grabbed her basket and headed out the door.
If you call the cops before I'm out of sight, I'll take you out with all my might.
Gold made for the woods, she thought she was ahead.
But up behind her came little Red.
She moved up quickly and stuck out her boot.
She tripped Gold over and stole her loot.
But tripping skills Gold didn't lack, so she tripped Red and dragged him out.
Red gave such a piercing shout. The bears heard the noise and came running out. Red knew she had to fight now, so she turned around to face her foe.
The stories don't say that. The stories don't say that Gold was Red's rival, but they fought each other for survival.
The woods always woke to the crashes and rattles of these two girls' fearsome battles.
So Goldilockpick, a successful plunder, but it was running into me that was your blunder. Will you give me the loot without a sound, or do I have to push you around?
Red Riding Hoodlum out thieving, I see. Well, you've made a mistake in crossing me. Just stay back, you two-bit thief, or I'll do something beyond belief.
Then Red rushed forward to take Gold out and started another awesome bout. When these two fought, they didn't fight fair. They scratched and pulled each other's hair.
Oh, these two rolled around on the floor. Mommy ran to phone for the lock.
Red reached for a weapon and with the wham got Gold in the face with strawberry jam.
Oh. Gold was angry, her face was a mess. Now it was Red who was in distress. Gold picked Red up off the ground. Page Red. Okay, no, it's in the script. You can do
This made Gold ill, the truth be told, and Red got her in a stranglehold. Gold couldn't take it, her head was sore, so with a thud she fell to the floor.
Oh, Red thought she had won, that this was the ending, but she didn't know that Gold was pretending. Gold reached in a basket, and with great force, smeared Red in the face with chocolate sauce.
Although she was angry, Red KO'd Gold quick with a swift, well-aimed blow.
Oh, Fairyland!
From a long French breadstick.
Now that you're beaten, Goldilockpick, I've still got one question. What did you nick? Pray don't get up, you're not in good shape. I'll just help myself and then I'll escape. Ah, why 3 bowls of porridge? You've answered my wish. How did you know that porridge was my favorite dish? Goldilockpick had this, what a great waste. But now that I've got it, I'll give it a taste.
Look how she's eating! It's bad manners, it's crime! You can't have so much food in your mouth at a time.
I almost feel sorry for Red Riding Hood. That porridge is off, it'll do her no good.
Yes, my dear, it is a little sad that the gluttonous girl's eating porridge that's bad.
She let the Red guzzle down bite after bite. She suddenly felt that something wasn't quite right. She'd always liked porridge, but now she'd learned that bad porridge makes your stomach turn. She was looking green around the gill, because by now she felt quite ill. She clutched her stomach, gave a and cried.
I'm gonna be sick!
Little Red stomach gave a groan.
Thank you for that.
She held her mouth, began to moan. She turned from green to red to blue, then ran inside and found the loo.
Although she was ill, Red survived, but she hadn't gone when the police arrived.
Well, Little Red, we've been looking for you.
Look down here, Goldilocks, too.
Yeah, we knew one day you'd have to fail, so now you're headed off to jail, see?
I think we've done good work today to put some crooks like these away.
Yeah, I sure have.
So now you know how things really went. But how did these tales get so bent? Well, while the two girls behind prison bars, they'd used the time to write their memoirs. But they wrote what they wanted to write about, so for a start, they left each other out. In the tale of Red Riding Hood, the wolf's the bad guy and red is good.
And reading the story of Goldilocks gave the bears a few green shocks.
What?
Even though the girls had done the crime, in a prison cell they'd wasted no time.
Well, they didn't just lie there complaining and whining, so now that they're out, they're on tour. Book signing.
Oh, actually, you just...
Thank you.
So now you know the stories were wrong, but there's a sequel. It's twice as long. A new tale, a brand new edition, but for now we'll take an intermission.
Welcome back. Well, I'm afraid it's time for us to go, but now we get to the story we'd like you to know.
We leave you with the godparents. We are sure they'll be great. They'll continue the story with the events as of late. Are you kidding? Yeah, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to continue this pantomime.
We left at the end of a fairy tale. Two famous girls are out of jail.
You heard of Goldilocks and Little Red Riding Hood and the trouble they made in the magical wood.
Goldilockpick, as she was known, stole from the bears. She lay in their beds and sat in their chairs.
Little Red Riding Hoodlum stole from travelers who passed, and when the police wolf had caught her at last, the woodsman, an axe-wielding maniac, killed the wolf with one quick hack.
Both of the girls might have gotten away, except they crossed paths later that day. They got into a terrible fight. The police had to be called to put things right.
They kicked and pinched and threw food, oh brother. What a mess they made of each other. But they were arrested and put in the clink, which gave both girls some time to think.
They wrote their memoirs while on the inside. Their stories spread both far and wide. They got out in 6 months for good behavior. They had their freedom, which they intended to savor.
They were quite the prettiest girls ever seen, but while in prison, how lonely they'd been.
So how do you think they would make amends? By going straight out and finding a boyfriend.
Meanwhile, in the palace of Fairyland, something quite different was being planned.
The Queen of Hearts was on a mission to win the baking competition.
An annual Fairyland institution, and the Queen had the winning contribution.
Every year, she'd always won.
Because I find my cooking fun.
And what was entered by the Queen of Hearts?
My famous, delicious, and fabulous tarts.
But while she was cooking the tarts that would win, the naughty Knave of Hearts snuck in.
He came in looking for a meal and came to see what he could steal. While that queen was busy cooking that naughty Knave, he started looking.
He thought it was his lucky day. Some of the tarts were already on the tray. He snuck up then to steal the tarts, but his footsteps were heard by the Queen of Hearts. Upon his wrist, her hand clamped down.
Now I've got you, gluttonous clown. I am tired of you stealing my pastry treats whenever you want something to eat.
I'm terribly sorry for committing this crime. I haven't eaten in quite a long time.
Oh, that's nonsense. I saw you eating before. You're stealing food always. Well, not anymore. Leave this place, Knave. Do you understand? Yeah, go find food elsewhere in Fairyland. Go and fulfill your huge appetite. The last meal for you here is a dinner tonight. Oh, he eats far too much. There's no question he'll soon give himself indigestion. Ah, but my solution was a wise one on the whole. And now I must go and meet with King Cole.
So the queen went off, looking her best, to meet King Cole, her royal guest.
Now let's go to the magical wood to visit the house of Granny. When she arrived, Little Red found her Gran making gingerbread.
Well, hello, Gran. What are you doing? I can smell something good brewing.
Hello there, Little Red. My dear, what you smell is my gingerbread here. I suppose it wouldn't be a waste to give you just a little taste.
Are these for the baking competition? They're delicious. They'll take up first position.
No, that will go to the Queen of Hearts for baking her wretched delicious tarts. No one else can win first place as long as her Majesty is in the race.
Well, you know you're not stupid, Gran. I'm sure we can come up with a plan.
I know, the wretched Queen won't win if her entry doesn't go in.
Perhaps, Gran, I can help you out, and you'll be the winner without a doubt. I'll sneak into the palace looking demure, and then act like a saboteur.
Yes, if you steal her winning tarts, I shall beat the Queen of Hearts.
Yes, that's right, but listen, Gran, there's someone coming. They can't hear our plan.
Oh, blast, what a terrible bore. That ne'er-do-well wolf is back at the door.
Now the wolf from last time you know is dead, so now we have this fellow instead. He's constantly hungry, he's whiny, he's lazy. He drives poor Granny Hood quite crazy.
Oh, Granny Hood, I must come in. Oh, by the hairs of my chinny chin chin, I have a terrible appetite. I must have something to put it right.
Well, my threshold is one that you shouldn't have crossed. There's nothing here, so just get lost.
That's not true. I smell cooking. Oh, ugh. I must go looking.
I don't think you heard my Gran Wolf, dear. She told you to get out of here. If she did, I think that you must. You've heard of the last wolf who crossed us.
Well, if it isn't Red Riding Hood. Seeing you's very good. You know, you've attracted so much fame, you're practically a household name.
You act like you've got lots of charm. I know that you mean harm.
Oh, come on, Red. I'm under the weather, without 2 pennies to rub together. You can help me without a hitch. You'd be rolling in cash. Wealthy. Rich.
I just know what would please him. To find your check from the Brothers Grimm. I've got his number, mark my words, honey. The wretched wolf is after your money.
Well, you wasted the efforts you spent, you greedy wolf. You won't get a cent.
Well, now that's something you shouldn't have said. I'll get that check one way or another with you, Red.
Then the wolf that made you louse began to chase Red around Gran's house.
Oh, wolf, now I'm angry as can be. You dare chase little Red, now you deal with me.
Then Granny Hood began to all over the place. They chased each other round and around. They made such a ruckus, a dreadful sound. There were lots of collisions, tumbles and trips, piles and slips. At the height of the chaos, by very good luck, in came Red's fairy godfather, Puck.
Seems this wolf is chasing my dear pretty friend. Well, that's about to come to an end. I know what I'll do to that creep. I'll cast a spell and put him to sleep.
And with the wave of his wand, the wolf chased no more. He became very drowsy and fell to the floor.
Oh, Puck, you came out a moment too soon.
Oh, I almost had it with my wooden spoon.
That's not necessary, but now, my dear, we must get this old wolf out of here. I know, I'll use my 4-leaf clover and make that old wolf itch all over.
Then the wolf was on the hop. He jumps up and yells,
Please make it stop.
Well, wolf, you want that itch to abate? Get out of here now and don't make me wait.
All right, good fairy, I'll obey. Just make the itching go away.
The wolf didn't linger anymore. He turned on his heels and ran out the door.
Thank you for sending him away. But Puck, what brings you here today? Tell me, dear fairy, are you going to send me a handsome, dashing boyfriend?
Well, yes, now that you're on the straight and narrow, I'm going to tell Cupid to shoot his arrow. I found you a boyfriend you'll just adore. Just the fella you've been looking for.
Puck, I'm so excited, my knees are weak. Where is this boy of which you speak?
Go to the pasture, the one full of sheep. Your love is the shepherd boy there, fast asleep. Now go, find him, on the double. But Red, try to stay out of trouble.
And remember, Red, you did agree to do a little job for me.
Yes, Granny dear, yes you bet. I promise that I won't forget.
Here, take this gun for protection, in case I lose my friend.
All right, well then I'm off. Wish me luck. Adieu, Gran dear, and adieu, dear Puck.
Then off to find love went little Red, and Gran to make her gingerbread. And Puck flew off too, he was very quick. Now let's take a look at Goldilockpick.
Goldilocks was hungry, it's true, so what do you think that she would do? Of course she'd head to the bears' place, quite intent on stuffing her face. She'd picked a very good day to invade, for the bears had cooking freshly made. For Mum Bear, we should probably tell, was in the baking competition as well. And what had Mum Bear decided to bake?
My simply delectable chocolate cake.
Your cake will win for sure, my dear.
We all know you're the best cook around here. Oh, you're too kind, but that queen is good too. Now, Little Bear, I made some extra for you.
So, you bears have been cooking, I can tell. Tell me, Mum Bear, what does that smell? I have an appetite to beat, so I hope you made me something to eat.
Goldilocks, it's very rude, the way you turn up expecting food.
Yes, if you are hungry, we do not care. You are rich, you can easily find food elsewhere.
Mom, your cake is so terribly fine. I won't get Goldilocks any of mine.
What's that you say, little bear? Did you say you've got cake there?
Yes, I have. But you won't get a bit. So stay away, you greedy twit.
All right, you forced me to be blunt. Give me that cake, you little runt.
And Goldilocks chased Little Bear and gave the poor boy quite a scare. But Mom Bear, she made sure she wouldn't win and knocked Gold out with her rolling pin. Then Mab, Gold's fairy godmother, appeared. This bear's froze. This was something we feared.
Goldilocks in trouble again. When will she stop this nonsense? When? Bears, I'm here to see Gold, you know? I suggest you take your cooking and go.
We'll leave you alone with Goldilockpick. We'll just be going. We'll be very quick.
Goldilocks, this is very frustrating. I have important news. Don't keep me waiting.
Oh, Mab, my dear fairy friend, it's so good to see you. Tell me, have you found me a boyfriend? Who is he? Who?
Your romantic obsession will make me hurl. But I found you a boyfriend, you silly girl. Go to the pasture, and there you will find a boy who is both handsome and kind.
Oh, well, I'm off to find him straight away. This will be such a happy day.
And Gold dashed off filled with delight, and Mab, the fairy, took flight. Now to the pasture we shall take you, where along came Little Boy Blue.
A shepherd, he should have been watching his sheep, but he lay by a haystack and fell asleep.
This was not very clever, as you will see, for in came the wolf, as quiet as can be.
While Boy Blue was asleep, that mangy beast would make the sheep into his feast.
Well, that stupid shepherd boy's asleep. I'll stuff myself with delicious sheep.
But the wolf was not going to have this chance, for in came Red, looking for romance.
Someone's coming.
The bad wolf cries,
I'd best put on my sheep disguise.
Just as the wolf covered his head, into the pasture came Little Red.
Well, here's the pasture. I can't see the sheep. But there's a boy there fast asleep. He's so handsome, there isn't a doubt that he's the man Puck told me about.
Hello there! I wasn't asleep. I promise I was watching the sheep. Hello, pretty girl. I'm Little Boy Blue.
I'm Little Red, how do you do?
Very well now, I must say. Pretty girls like you don't come here every day. And famous and clever to go with your looks. Don't worry, I've read those fairy tale books.
Boy Blue, your compliments truly flatter. He's very good in romantic matters.
Little Red, would it be a crime to ask you out to dinner sometime?
Boy Blue, oh, that would be a scream! I think I found the man of my dreams. I've got a boyfriend. I'm so very excited.
Little Red is my girlfriend. I'm simply delighted.
So Little Red had found love at last, but then the wolf came lumbering past.
Bah.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. That's what I am.
Little Red, I have to tell that lamb there does not look well.
Oh, come on, Wolf. That's just cheap. Do you really think you look like a sheep?
Oh, Red, I'm confused. I really am. Why are you being so mean to that lamb?
He's not a lamb. He's not even mutton. He's a greedy wolf and a frightful glutton.
A wolf in my pasture? That's quite a complaint. Excuse me, Red. I think I'll faint.
That's all right. Chasing wolves is woman's work. I'll get you now, you big mangy duck!
Then Red cocked the gun and off the wolf raced, and quickly after Little Red chased.
while she was away and Boy Blue slept, into the pasture Goldilocks crept.
She spotted sleeping Little Boy Blue and cried,
My dreams have all come true. That's my boyfriend. I won't miss the chance to wake him up with a kiss.
Hello there. I must say, today must be my lucky day. Well now, gorgeous, I'm Little Boy Blue.
And you're the man for me, it's true. Goldilockpick is my name.
Another girl with wealth and fame. These two girls came to look for me here. I feel like the bachelor of the year.
You're so handsome, I like you so well. I know as a couple that we would be swell.
Okay.
But then back came Little Red Riding Hood. She saw gold with boy blue. This was not good.
Oh, she.
The wolf had escaped Little Red, so now she'd pick on Gold instead.
Gold, I'm flattered, there isn't a doubt. But there's something I should tell you about.
Oh, can't it wait, boy blue, my dear? I want to give you a kiss. Come here.
Red didn't stand there looking down. She gave Gold a pinch on the bum.
Of course, now there was little doubt that a fight would soon break out.
Oh, Red. Well, you've got to hide. How dare you pinch me on the backside?
Well, Gold, just look at the nerve of you. You're all over little boy blue. He's my boyfriend. Go find your own. Boy blue and I need some time alone.
I don't think so. You're the one who ought to go. My gorgeous looks, I'm sure that little boy blue will like me more.
Why don't you just take a hint, Gold? How many times do you have to be told? I'm prettier than you and I'm actually smart. So I'm the girl in boy blue.
I don't think so, Red, you see. The one who boy blue wants is me.
I'm sorry, Gold, but that's not true. You love me, don't you, little boy blue?
Of course I love you, little Red. Your looks and brains have turned my head.
Boy blue, you're one of the great romantics. You wouldn't fall for Gold's silly antics.
While Little Red stood there gazing with love, Gold snuck up and...
Oh my God!
Little Red toppled over its crew and fell in a heap with blood.
Boy blue, you must excuse Goldilockpick. For although she's very thick, she knows which one of us you prefer. She knows you like me better than her.
Now Red had really offended Gold. The brawl was on for young and old.
While Little Red was still on the ground, Gold grabbed her leg and dragged her around. Dragged her around.
Then Red caught Gold's foot and cursed it well, one quick twist and over Gold fell. They proceeded to fight some more, then with one quick clout, where Little Red knocked Goldilocks out.
Red, that's something the stories don't tell. I didn't know you fought quite that well.
Well, Gold is my favorite person to beat. But now, Boy Blue, let's get something to eat. I know. We'll go to the baking contest where I'll fulfill my Gran's request. You see, I've come up with a plan to steal the queens winning tarts for Gran. If we do that, she will be the winner, and we can have the tarts for dinner.
That sounds like an excellent plan. I'll help in any way that I can.
Let's go to the palace, let's be quick, and leave here before we wake Goldilockpick.
So off towards the palace they sped, eager to be heartily fed. Meanwhile, on the ground Goldilocks lay, among the dirt and grass and hay.
While she slept, the knave chanced by. He saw her and gave an amorous sigh.
Who's this pretty girl lying here? Whoever she is, she seems very dear. I bet a kiss is all it will take to make this beautiful maiden awake.
Well, hello there. Who is this? Who wakes me up with such a sweet kiss?
In the name of hearts, fair maiden, I'll help you out of this hay that you've lain in.
Well, you're very handsome. I'm rather inclined to think you're the boy Madsen to find. I must introduce myself to you. I'm Goldilockpick. How do you do?
Oh, I've read the book you wrote of yourself. I often take it down off the shelf.
Well, then I guess you'll be my man. I mean, you're probably already my fan.
Yes, but you don't mention in your book just how exquisitely pretty you look. You're such a pretty girl, you see. Would you really go out with me?
Knave, as my boyfriend, you'd be just right. But now I have an appetite. I wonder where we can get a meal. I've got to eat if I have to steal.
Steal food? That's a great idea. I know just the dish to pilfer, my dear. Sneak into the baking contest where the food's the very best. And there, we'll steal the delectable tarts created by the Queen's heart.
Good idea, Knave. Let's get going. I can feel my hunger growing.
So off to the palace the lovebirds ran, but guess who else had heard their plan?
So they're going to the Palace of Hearts to steal the Queen's delicious tarts. Well, if I run fast, I can beat them. I'll find those tarts and then I'll eat them.
So off the wolf went with his new wish to feast upon the famous pastry dish.
But we went right.
But I said left.
That's not what we read.
Is that it? Right there. Right there. Right there. Go, 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 go.
Now to the palace for the baking contest, where we meet our unwanted guests.
The wolf had snuck in among the crowd. He crept to the dining room, not being too loud. He cried,
Jackpot, I've got the tarts.
But then in burst the Queen of Hearts. She grabbed that wolf by the tail and yelled,
I'll put this mutt in jail, so you tried to steal my tarts. Oh, I'll teach you, that's not very smart.
Please, Queen, I'm hungry as can be. Sorry, beg of you. Please don't punish me.
Oh, it's prepared to grovel, a commendable feature. I might just have a jump for this creature. Well, Wolf, I'm loath to turn you loose. I shall push you to better use. You shall join the palace guard, a job that you won't find very hard. A good position, very grand, the best guard job in Fairyland. My last wolf went missing while chasing Little Red. But if you'll be my new wolf, I promise you'll be fed.
I'll do it, Queen. I promise I won't fail. But, tell me, what does the job entail?
Well, all of Fairyland wants the famous tarts baked by the legendary Queen of Hearts. So I want you to guard my tarts, my dear. Oh, but look, King Cole, our judge is here.
Greetings, good queen and honored guests, and welcome to our baking contest. Now tell me, what delicious treats have you all made for me?
I brought my gingerbread. It's the best. Delicious and easy to digest.
And I brought my chocolate cake. Everyone says it's the best thing I bake.
Very good, but I haven't seen the dish that's made by you, my I've made my tarts. They're all the rage. You'll see, King Cole, you're a culinary sage.
And then the guests beheld the tarts, freshly made by the Queen of Hearts.
Here, King Cole, take one of these. They're simply delightful and sure to please.
Once he tastes that, he won't choose my gingerbread. Come on, where are you, Little Red?
Well, come on all. We've no time to waste. I'll go to the hall where I'll give these a taste. Let's leave the rest of the tarts in here. We'll have them later, King Cole, my dear. Wolf, you stay here and use your smarts and make sure to keep an eye on those.
So they went to the hall for the baking contest, where King Cole would judge which dish was best.
Now who else had snuck in with all the guests there for the Fairyland baking contest?
Little Red and Little Boy Blue.
And the Knave of Hearts and Goldilocks too.
Oh, it's 4 of them and 1 of me, oh dear. I must go tell the Queen they're here.
The thieves had gotten off into the place, and now they all met face to face.
Well, Little Red and Boy Blue. Oh dear. Tell me, what are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing, Goldilockpick, but we haven't got time. We've got something to nick. Boy Blue and I are here on a date, and we're taking this. We don't want to wait.
Well, this is the Knave, and he's my boyfriend. And we'll bring your little plan to an end. The one who'll be doing those tarts you see are the Knave of Hearts and me. Please.
Now Goldilocks was very so Red decided to make her jealous.
Hi, the Knave. How do you do? Well, hello there, little Boy Blue.
Then over to Boy Blue, Goldilocks sidled. Now Red's jealousy was unbridled.
Just stay away from Boy Blue, Goldilocks. If you haven't got that, your head's full of rocks.
Well, keep your hands off the Knave, little Red. I'm warning you, you heard what I said.
Now the girls' constant fighting had attracted some fame, but the Knave and Boy Blue were just the same. For what the nursery rhymes did tell was these two boys did get along well.
Stand still so I can talk to you. Ooh, good to see you. Don't you dare go near Goldilockpick. Someone just look at you, must be quick.
Well, Knave. If you don't stay away from Little Red, I'll make you pay.
I'm playing with gold. She's very appealing. More fun together sneaking and stealing. So on this blissful summer's day, we'll steal those tarts right away.
Oh no, you won't. You won't be the winner. I'll share those with Red at the candlelit dinner. If you try to stop us, you silly knave, I'll do something very grave.
The two pairs of lovebirds went to war, wilder than anything ever before. Goldilocks charged the little Red. Boy Knave swung the boy from his head. Red and Boy Blue were aggravated, so the conflict escalated. Red stomped in Goldilocks' toe, and Boy Blue gave the Knave a pinch on the nose.
So what did he do? He gave a wedgie to little boy Blue. Goldilocks thought this idea was good, so she gave one to Red Riding Hood.
Then Boy Blue hit the Knave in a delicate place, and then ran away with the Knave giving chase. Then Red grabbed Gold and threw it to the floor, and then proceeded to fight some more.
But Gold with a determined frown threw it off and pinned her down. The little Red had a plot to beat Goldilocks, and she liked it a lot.
Stop! Stop! We could help each other out. There's something that you haven't thought about.
Us help each other, little Red. I'm sorry, is something wrong with your head? Besides, there's nothing that I've missed. This problem you speak of just doesn't exist. I'll just be going with those tarts belonging to the Queen of Hearts.
All right, you've got the tarts, that's great, but how will you get out the front gate? You won't get out with those tarts, I fear. There's a guard on every door around here. You know the precautions the Queen of Hearts takes to protect the delicious things that she bakes.
All right then, what do you suggest to leave this place and avoid arrest?
Well, dressed like you are, it will be very hard, but it would be easy if you were dressed like a guard. So I'll steal you a guard's uniform to wear, and you'll be out of here without a care.
That's a good idea, what you said, but what's in it for you, little Red?
All I want is one little tart for Gran. She's the biggest pastry fan. If you do what I ask, I'll gladly help you with the stars.
All right, well, I suppose that's fair, as long as you bring me a God's uniform to wear.
Yes, that's right. Now quick, we're pressed. Go behind that curtain and get undressed. I'll be back with the uniform as quick as can be, and you can have the tarts for tea.
Now Goldilocks wasn't looking, but Red didn't steal the cooking.
Before I steal those tarts for Gran, I must fulfill another plan. I've got a surprise for Goldilocks. She'll soon get a few big shocks.
Little Red left, but she was coming back with a cleverly planned attack.
Poor Goldilockpick didn't know she'd soon be dealt an embarrassing blow. Little Red returned with the uniform, as she said she'd do, and found the Knave and little boy Blue.
Stop fighting, boys. My plan, you see, is to divide these tarts by 3.
I think that plan seems very fair. We won't get to share.
And we won't have to share with Goldilocks. Come on now, let's divide them.
Speaking of Goldilocks, where'd she go? She's a lovely girl, I'd like to know.
Little Red, is that you up there with the uniform for me to wear?
Yes, I'm here, Gold. Now, boys, you'll see something as funny as can be.
Then Little Red, with great glee and pride, went and pulled the curtain aside.
She revealed poor Goldilocks standing there in nothing but her underwear.
So the Knave and Boy Blue were on the floor, laughing until their sides were sore.
Goldilocks could not stop blushing. She found this moment very amusing.
Little Red, you horrid cheat. I suppose you think you've got me beat.
Well, I have, at least I suppose, with you standing there in your underglows.
Well, I bet it's really made your day, catching me out in my lingerie. And in front of the Knave and little boy Blue. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you.
Oh, I have a guard's uniform right here. But I'm afraid you won't be wearing it, dear. The plan has changed a bit, you see. The one who will change into this is me. In my wonderful guard's disguise, I'll escape with the culinary prize.
Those tarts are something you'll never nick. You won't make a fool out of Goldilockpick.
Then Gold chased Red, Red couldn't hide, and Gold kicked her swiftly on the backside.
Then Little Red began to fight back as she tripped Gold over to launch her attack. There was more scuffling after the trip, then Red got Gold in a vice-like grip.
But Gold had a plan, so without complaint, she closed her eyes and pretended to sleep.
Well, that's her sorted. But before she comes to, the 3 of us have plenty to do. I know we're dividing these tarts by 3, but the one who's carrying them out is me. I won't get out while carrying this gear, so I'll just change out of these clothes just behind here.
As soon as Red was out of sight, Gold revealed she was alright.
Boys, come here and listen, quick.
You're not unconscious, Goldilockpick.
No, I pretended to trick Red Riding Hood, and she fell for it as I knew she would. Now, let's take these delicious tarts that we've won, we'll divide them in 3, and give Little Red 9.
That's a terrible plan. I won't be in it. Little Red will be out in a minute.
Alas, Little Red is down in her luck, for I'm afraid she's completely stuck. In all that confusion, poor Little Red dear has forgotten something very important, I fear. She's been so distracted by her pride, she's left the guard's uniform outside.
Well, it's quite a predicament little Red's in. But I guess for us it means a win.
But I don't want to lose her! She's so full of grace! A charming witch and pretty face! Goldilockpick, I'm begging you, we have to help her. What can we do?
Hello, the uniform's out there. Can you see? Can one of you throw it over to me?
Now this is a chance that just can't be missed. I can get Little Red back. Oh, I can't resist. What a surprise Little Red's gonna get! This will be the funniest thing you've seen yet.
Then with a joyous laugh to be certain, Goldilockpick pulled back.
Now little Red was caught in her underwear, so Goldilocks thought she made things square.
All was happy, the Knave and Boy Blue had seen Little Red in her undies too.
The boys' laughter, however, made such a sound that people could hear from all around.
Red, your face is the shade of your hood. You're very embarrassed. I must say, it's good. I've never seen you blush as much before, and as you know, it's an image I truly adore.
Well, Gold, I suppose you think you've won because of this horrible thing you've done?
Well, I have. Although, I must be fair, you look lovely in underwear.
Well, this is something I won't soon forget. You're thrilled to catch me in my undies, I bet. And in front of Boy Blue and the Knave, I guess you think you're very brave. But I hope you don't think you ever could make a fool out of Red Riding Hood. If you did, you were wrong. Now, I know you've wanted to talk for so long. It seems to me completely just. You should have one. You simply must.
Then Red did something very smart and got Gold in the face with the top.
That's the funniest thing I've seen for some time! This combination is simply sublime!
Goldilockpick wouldn't be beaten. There was one more tart that wouldn't be eaten. Goldilocks took the tart from its place and put it right in Little Red's face.
Okay. Now really, that's funny, I must say. I don't see humor like that every day.
No, this simply must come to an end. I must rescue my pretty girlfriend!
And Little Boy Blue made the play of getting in between this fight. Where Little Red took a tart from the tray, but Little Boy Blue got in the way. The towel was meant for Gold, it's true, but the one who got hit was Little Boy Blue.
Then the Knave saw an opportunity, and he acted with impunity. In the confusion, the Knave's hearts tried to make off with the last of the tart.
In burst the Queen. She was the best she'd ever been. Quickly grabbed the top from the tray.
Still my tots? How could you dare? All right, Knave, here's a tart to wet.
Before the Knave could begin to speak, she put a tot in the face of the snake.
Then into the room of Alice just rounded before tart pilfering. Then King Cole had followed the Queen of Hearts and came to see who was stealing the tarts. With him he brought Gran, Gruenbauer, and the wolf. The thieves were ready. A lot of tarts.
No one so sure which months after the times and places. They were caught now with eggs and tot on their faces.
You tart pilfering thieves, you won't get far. Wolf, clean their faces so I can see who they are.
Well, I'm not surprised the Knave of Hearts returned to try and steal my tarts. But we've got Goldilocks here too. And Little Red and Little Boy Blue.
Goldilocks, what are you doing here? What happened to you, Little Red, my dear?
Oh, you've no idea the trouble you're in. Come, now let the trial begin.
Before the trial, there's one thing to be done. I've done so my goods, let's see who has won.
All right then, but now to with haste, we must have this trial. There's no time to waste.
Well, Grandma's gingerbread was good, my word. So I decided to award them third.
Well, I'm affronted. It's absurd that my gingerbread should only win third.
At least it beat that humorous guy who baked the blackbirds into the pie.
Now, second place race goes to the tots, entered by the Queen of Hearts.
What shocks of horrors, such disgrace that I should get near second place.
Oh, Queen, relax. You weren't the worst, but Monday's chocolate cake takes home first.
I'm very honored, my dear king. This is the most exciting thing.
Well, you made your decision. But I think that I'm the winner on the whole. After all, these thieves weren't here to take Mumbe's winning chocolate cake. All these young people came here to steal was my delicious tarts. Pathetic,
Dear Queen of Hearts, I have to tell you've taken my decision rather well.
Oh, I value your opinion. But theirs means double because they've gone to so much trouble. Their heist is meticulously planned. Besides, they thought my tarts were very grand. And they'd made themselves such a terrible mess. Why, look at these girls in their state of undress.
Everyone laughed. There were lots of
Well, Knave, what will we do with you and Gold? Little Red, little boy Blue? Oh, you won't be punished, but don't go leaving. We must find a way to stop your thieving.
Please, allow us to make a suggestion.
We have the answer to your question.
Well, good fairies, what do you suggest? What's your solution to end this matter best?
These four would make mischief all around if the girls were married to the boys they found.
They'd cease the trouble they made in the past. Once married, they'd settle down at last.
Seems a sensible plan. Thank you for your counsel, my dears. You four shall be married. So, who's with who? Tell me, my good young people, do.
I'll marry boy Blue, he's my man.
And I'll marry the knave. That's my plan.
Good, so let's Come, Gran, Gran, you'll help me later.
Little Red, I'm going to marry you.
I'm ever so excited, little boy Blue.
I'm thrilled we're going to be married, dear knave.
And my wife! A woman who's both pretty and brave.
Our job here is done. There are weddings all around.
Wedding bells, such a blissful sound.
And on this joyous, happy day, we seem to have reached the end of our play. There's been lots of mischief, fun, and laughter, and now it's time to live happily ever after.